Looking at the clock,
Yes.
the stopwatch has started.
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to the Good Place podcast. And I'm delighted to say that I'm not in The Hague, I'm not in Amsterdam, I'm here in Ghent. And actually, for personal reasons, but every time I go somewhere, I like to take on this opportunity to meet a local, to meet somebody who lives in Ghent, to find out more about the place we're in, about your life. And today I'm joined here by Ben Bruyneel. And yeah, we actually just met 10 minutes ago. And for me, it's an exploration about who you are, what you do, and why, of course, Ghent is a good place. So let's kick it off. With just tell us a bit more about who you are.
A small introduction. So my name is Ben. I live in Ghent my whole life. I'm 40 years old. I have a restaurant. I have my beer brand, Ponies, which I sell in Belgium, in Flanders. I
Hence the sweatshirt.
and a sweatshirt. Yes, yes. I like to have my branding on point. Just I need to make more again, more T-shirts and more stuff. But people are always asking. I also have socks normally, white socks, and all my sports stuff is also all Ponies branded.
I should have my own merch as well.
Yeah. It's wonderful. People love it. People they eat it up.
Okay, good.
That's Ponies. Then I have a restaurant, and I give bartender lessons as well, and which I'm doing at this moment actually, this couple of weeks, teaching people how to bartend, how to make cocktails. That's really my most experience in horeca, and a little bit of real estate also on the side. So I always see myself as a Swiss Army knife, but maybe I need to reduce it a little bit in the near future, but we will see about that. But let me first start with coffee.
Yes,
Because
beautiful.
if there's one thing that is 100% me, it's hospitality, and I love to bring something and to have comfortness, and I think a cup of coffee.
Nice.
Is-
Very nice, very nice.
So
I mean, I can't say you're the first one, but you're definitely the second one
okay.
that comes with a nice cup of coffee. And
Unfortunately, I like sugar in my coffee a little bit. I
Ooh,
think
ooh.
Charlene from the Way Coffee Roasters will be a little bit disappointed. But
swearing in the church, as they
yes.
say in Dutch.
cheers. It's
Nice.
by the way from a Ghent roasting coffee roasters way. They've been a couple of years now. They started up. They have a couple of coffee shops in the city center. I think it's in specialty coffee. If you like a nice acidic and a lot of fruity notes in your coffee, that's for sure the coffee place to go to. We have another couple of really good roasteries, I think it's called,
Yeah.
and Ghent. But this is I make my own blends from their coffee. This is Burundi and Costa Rica we're drinking. A little bit funky, but
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a bit fruity, it's a bit nutty.
yeah.
This channel turns into a coffee tasting channel.
Yeah, for sure.
We put the link below, right, to this blend.
Yeah, I love my coffee.
Nice.
Every morning it's my ritual. I wake up, I go downstairs. As soon as I grab the coffee beans bag, my little son from 3 years old says,
Yeah.
Papa, koffie maken.
Yeah, yeah.
And he runs straight towards me. He pushes the chair against the kitchen table, and then he crawls up and he wants to put the grinder. He wants to turn a grinder on.
Nice.
Then I put the grinder. Then I put it in my coffee, in my mocha master, and then he wants to turn the buttons on. That's in every morning. Every morning the
Beautiful,
same
beautiful.
story. Boom.
I'm still the guy that makes coffee feel like a coffee maker, like old school without the grinding.
Okay, but it's also pretty. I see myself also as a very analog guy. I like my gadgets, but
There's no cups involved.
well, I weigh everything. 60 grams per liter, always exactly. If it's 60.2, I will take one bean out of the grinder to make sure it's exact. I always use the spa water, always the same. So I am very meticulously in making my.
But I mean, it's about the experience together with your kiddo to.
In the morning,
Yeah.
yes. In the morning it is.
I even have I have a 2-year-old daughter, and now she's also like putting the coffee into my coffee maker every morning.
Okay, cool.
But she cannot say coffee; she says kossi, like she is still
Yeah.
work in progress.
The other one used to say koki.
Koki,
the older one. Bon.
So as you know, this channel is about a good place. That every morning with your kid, coffee grinding is already that good place.
Is already a good place. My good place is my home. It's as simple as that. I think I remember a spreuk from my wife's grandfather in Dutch saying, als je thuis je geluk niet vindt, vind je het nergens. If you cannot find your happiness at home, you will find it nowhere. And something that I truly carry with me. And I try to work with that throughout my life, and I find very important is the happiness has to be at my house.
Yeah.
And I have to still the weekly, daily, monthly. We have to correct it sometimes, because my wife and I, Eva, we are people of the street. We love to go away. We love to have our babysitter come over and want to go out and drink and eat. But sometimes we really have to say, okay, let's just stay home. And when we say to ourselves, we stay home, we always find peace, calm, happiness, to be with the kids. It's just great. Well, that's, if you want to talk about about the good places, that's my best good place.
Because I mean, as a Swiss Army knife, it can be very busy, So it's important probably to make sure that balance is okay with at home.
Yeah, I'm. Some people call me a life hacker because I like to find hacks in life to make my life easier. Of course, sometimes it doesn't work out like that, but I think we have a good balance in time. We occasionally like to go on vacation or take trips multiple times a year. We will go visit places, cities, other countries. For us, that really is luxury, is traveling for us. But I think also what I said in the beginning, I think when we spoke, I probably will reduce a little bit my activities in the future and tone it down to make it a bit more simple. More for myself, I think.
Okay.
Also for the kids and for Eva. I think it will bring more quietness.
Because your wife also has her own store?
Yes, we're both. I don't like the word in English entrepreneur so much because it sounds very obnoxious. And in Dutch we call it zelfstandig.
Yeah.
Zelfstandig. We're independent.
Yeah.
I like independent.
Independent.
Independent's nice. I like independent. We're independent people, and we zijn plantrekkers. We're people that do what we have to do. We're problem solvers. We're fixers. And we make it happen.
We're on a mission.
And we'll go for it. And that's what we do. I have multiple things on my agenda, but my wife has a bridal shop.
Okay.
She's from a 4th generation of a family, of a fabrics store that used to be in Deinze. Then they came to Ghent, had a shop in Sint-Denijs-Westrum also, and really in the high-end luxury fabrics. And then Eva, because of the confectie was coming up, they would tailor dresses and seamstresses would make them. She had to turn it around, the business, because it was not going very well, and she made a bridal shop of it.
All right.
And now it's really a thriving business. She's just got awarded, selected for the designer brand of Belgium.
All right.
So you have to vote if we're still on time with the publication of the podcast.
Okay.
We have to go to Eva Janssens, her website, and then you can vote for her.
Okay.
So I really hope she wins. I think it will be difficult, but the acknowledgement already is really big.
So she's a nominee.
A nominee, yeah.
Okay,
From 10 nominees in Belgium, best fashion design. Also for a wedding shop, wedding designer is also very special. It's just not a very simple dress. She's very good at what she does. Very, very good.
So if my partner and I get married, we need to get a dress in
For
Ghent,
sure.
huh?
She makes amazing dresses, but it's not only about the dress, it's really about the experience. She really is a feeler. She's someone that you'll feel really at ease with, and she really feels the brides and what they need, and she's really talented in so many aspects. Well, crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
exciting. I will definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Because of everything that you guys doing, you also like you're very Ghent is your playground, right? I mean, you probably know everyone. You have your shop here. So is that also one of the reasons why, as a born and raised Gentenaar, you're still in Ghent?
Well, Ghent has a lot of assets. Ghent is a small town, but also a big city. It's very beautiful, but not too beautiful, because or else it would be too touristicy. It has so much to offer for local people, for young people. It's so. I really love living here because it's also it's in my stomach, you know. I think it's also maybe a bit of a Dutch saying. It's just in my stomach, and when I go around, especially because a gut feeling, yeah. If I go around for beer or to do deliveries or just to do to visit some places, I drive around so often with my bike or with the car. I get around. I know a lot of people. It's just cool just to bump into everybody. It's small enough, but also big enough to disappear. You know, it's a beautiful city. I don't know how else I could say it. You know.
Is that a reason why you're still in Ghent?
Why am I in Ghent?
Or have you still considered going somewhere else?
What we do consider is a little bit the outskirts, is a little bit more green. I think one day, one thing I really love is sunlight. We used to live in a small apartment in the Patijntjesstraat, beautiful street near the railway station, Ghent St. Pieters. And it was a designer apartment from an architect, Kaan Architecten. Very nice, but not a lot of light. We live in a loft, and we have a lot of light because we have a huge glass, a lot of glass. And for me, that was a big change in my mind, and living even in the winter when it's like a drowsy day, it still feels like, wow, we have a lot of light. So for me, if we move, I want to go for like even more light the whole day from morning to evening, sipping on a nice aperitif Negroni or something, or a gin tonic, just till the last couple of minutes till the sun goes down. For me, that's like stealing that day one more hour. I want that hour every day, more than someone else. For me, it's like small stuff like that. Waking up in the morning and having that sun inside of your house. That's again stealing that a day, an hour more than the rest. That's what I want from life.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean,
that's why I would move.
That's why you would move. Okay, yeah. But when we talk about Ghent as well, knowing everyone, it also feels like a sense of belonging. You grew up here. You know your way around. It's
acknowledgement.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I give in the bartender classes. I speak about acknowledgement. It's knowing people knowing you, having a coffee, bumping into someone,
being respected.
Being respected for what you do. It's a great feeling, and the city of Ghent, the core is not that big. It's small. It is getting very touristic in a way. So some days when I go into the city center, it gets a little bit crowdy to my liking. But it's we have other moments that it's better. We know our spots. Where to be, and again to bump into people. I have a lot of restaurants and bars that I go to that are all friends or acquaintances that we have a good time with. We also have enough different places, like I think if you go to the big cities, you really have quartiers.
Yeah.
And Ghent, you have also a little bit of that, so you can run away still from certain spots.
You mean neighborhoods?
Yeah, neighborhoods.
In Berlin they call it Kiez.
Yeah.
And,
And it is getting bigger. It is growing, so these neighborhoods are becoming more like comprehensive or more important. So if someone lives north of Ghent, they will not have gone to a restaurant or a bar to the south of Ghent and so it is big enough.
Yeah.
And that's what my restaurant, the Hansrik, is really a neighborhood place. It's about
the Hansrik?
Gansrik. Gansrik, northwest, I think, from Ghent.
Okay.
It's a neighborhood place, and this is really, there's not a lot in that area.
Okay.
So we've been open for 8 years now.
Okay.
And we have a mix of locals, but also people that from those parts of the city. Yeah. Drongen, Mariakerke, the other places that also come there.
So it's been a place that's been really embraced by the neighborhood as well.
Yeah, I would, but we also focused on more than only being a neighborhood place, being a restaurant with a little bit more specific in drinks, because I drinks, cocktails, beers really is my thing.
Okay.
That's something I really love. And we bring a very different menu and drinks than a regular cafe or bar. Also not working with big brands. We work with small, local, or we make it ourselves if we can make it ourselves. So we will not buy pop sodas, Coca-Cola or whatever. We will make everything ourselves. Oh, yeah? Our cocktails we make ourselves. We have our own beer, of course, small breweries. That's basically a real focus, and try to make as much and also bring it to a comfortable level. Yeah. Very easy approachable.
So for everyone outside of Ghent eating there or experiencing there, they would get a local experience. Everything locally produced.
That's difficult to say, actually. I don't think if people are visiting from outside of Ghent and if they really want a local thing, that's where we don't make a stoverij. We have a burger, pulled pork. We have ragu. There's nothing really Ghent about that. No. It is in our beers. It is that way. We do have vlierbloesem elderflower from the Bourgogne that we forage ourselves, that we make a syrup. But I would say if you want a stoverij met frietjes, or if you want waterzooi in a certain period of the year, there are other places that you have to go. And then it, of course, gets more touristic. Right. I think it's difficult to find real local stuff in menus. Also, for me as a local, I don't frequent those places. I like if I travel to other cities, I also look for the new, trendy, hip, up and coming, newest inspiration of food and drinks, and that's also the places that I visit in Ghent. So we have a couple of really cool new places that opened up in the last couple of months or a year. Yeah. Those are the places that I will go to, in combination with a couple of classics, like a Martino, for instance, is a real classic. Go to Pakhuis. It's a really big place, Pakhuis, but they really bring a very high level. On for such a big place. Really, really nice people that own it, and they have a really good vision.
It's a restaurant?
Yeah. Okay. Pakhuis is a big restaurant. Okay. But it's a good for a touristic. It's smack in the middle of the center. Easy to go shopping and to have a lunch there. Or a dinner pool.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You already gave me some amazing recommendations that I'm gonna. That's on my list. Sometimes it's also nice to get lost and see where everything will bring you. Right? Yeah. How would you say how would you define living in Ghent? Is living in Ghent easy? Is it difficult? How are the people of Ghent? Are they mixed? Is it somehow traditional?
I think it depends, especially at this moment. There's a lot going on regarding, we just had elections, and at this moment there are a lot of people protesting at the city hall in the evening, because of the coalition that's going to be formed. And I'm not much of a protester. I am always someone that has been brought up to be discreet and to be to listen. And I'm not. I don't often bring my opinion forward very much. That's not my style of person. But it also just depends, how you are in life. If you are very left or very right or very center, I think you will think of Ghent in very different ways. I'm very much a person that I'm not worried. I don't worry very often. I am looking for a word. I can't find it. Relativeren. How do you say that? I'm the king of relativeren.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Subtitle that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's very much about processing, as in a way that you know how to spin it for yourself in some ways that it makes sense.
Sometimes it's also dangerous.
Yeah.
Because if you don't worry enough, maybe on certain topics, you will let it slide a little bit. That also happens.
Yeah.
But I tend not to worry. It makes me more happy.
Yeah.
It makes it easier not to worry too much. And and Ghent is a beautiful city. If that coalition is formed, it will change for sure some things. Of course, I am in the position that maybe, I'm not sure, maybe that benefits me, maybe it doesn't benefit me. I will see what happens and I will deal with it if it goes south.
But you do care about Ghent because that is your home, right?
I care about the fact that people are protesting and that they are worried, and I care for that. I feel for them. I'm much more of a person that feels for other people, and I'm sad that they're sad and mad for what's maybe about to happen. But
that's nationwide, right? It's not only Ghent.
No, it's Ghent. It's
really Ghent?
with gemeenteraadsverkiezingen. It's
okay.
really for the city hall for Ghent.
Okay.
And we're a very left city. Have always been. We have and it might change a little bit this time. We will see what happens, also because, like I said, I'm an independent person. Maybe that will benefit me, but also, they're working so much in my street at the moment where I have my restaurant. That's a big negative part for me because I'm losing a lot of parking spots. But more cyclists will pass by. It will change. Probably will be better. But I don't worry about it. I know a lot of other colleagues that will get mad, will call the city, that are disappointed. I just don't want to go through that.
No. You gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, I'm very much a go with the flow. Maybe sometimes a little bit too mellow. I don't know why that is actually. Maybe I should get into that with my shrink or my psych. More talk about that. Why am I so?
Why am I so mellow?
And certain things,
Well, you get stuff done. You're not always too mellow.
No. I get stuff done for sure. Yeah. If I want things, I go for it. And I'm very much a person that has goals in life, long-term goals. And if I reach them, I make sure that I reach them. So I really have a vision of how I want my life to go, and it goes that way. And
You've always had that?
Always. I've always had that. I've always had a vision when I was younger. I wanted to move away from house, and straight away I wanted to buy an apartment or buy a small property.
Okay.
So I waited, I saved, I made it happen, I moved away, and then I sold that place, I bought another place, and I wanted to move from there forward. And I always had specific ideas and goals that I wanted to go, and I reached those goals. I think it's very important for people to do that, to make goals, short or midterm, long term, and whatever you do, personal life or business life, and just do it. Sometimes I also get sidetracked. Sometimes I also events happen in your life that sidetrack these things, but it's just important to speak it out, write it down, talk to your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, and talk about these goals of what you want to do.
Can I ask about those goals? Like, are these goals financial? Are these goals like, I would love to have my own apartment? Is it the dream of having your own restaurant one day? Is it?
I think it is a bit being independent, and not in being a business owner, but being able to call my own shots in life, not being dependent on other people. That does make it difficult if I'm dependent on other people. I don't like that. Also, in my own business, like I said, I like to have my own brewery. I like to have my own beer, my own to have control over stuff like that. But having my own goals was in the beginning. The first thing I wanted was my own house or apartment, because I knew that's just the best choice. Well, maybe for other people, that's less important. I have no problem with that, but for me, that's the best. For me, that's the best choice. And that has brought me, and it was a very small apartment because all my friends were buying or renting nice apartments, moving away from house, moving in with a friend or whatever. I said, okay, I really want to buy something. It was very small, 55 square meters. One bedroom, like really, really small. I redone it. I rebuilt it. And then I sold it with a profit. And basically from that first choice that I did in 2007, eventually helped me do my restaurant. And buying a building with my one of my best friends, Olivier, opening up a restaurant. And it was just a ripple effect of starting out really early is what helped me. So being able to still live at home, save up a little bit of money, and I saved it up by buying a car at a really good price. I had a really awesome car, and then I sold it after about a year and a half for the same amount. So I rode that car for free for a year, and that was, and from that, it's all just these small things that happened.
But when did you have the idea to start your restaurant?
So I started. So Olivier, I met at Café Theatre. We opened up. No, we worked in Café Theatre in a cocktail bar. I met him there. Then I really discovered my passion much more for hospitality. Before that, I used to work. I worked as a cab driver. I worked in the horeca. I worked in feestzalen, so in big events for weddings and stuff like that. So I really knew how to work really hard in horeca. But when I got to Café Theatre, I really discovered the passion for service, for hospitality, the fine details of maximum 3 cigarette butts in an ashtray. And then after that, just having the coasters, that the menu has to be like this. The glasses have to all be with the labels to the front. These small little details. And then Olivier was the bar manager there. Also, I got to know cocktails for the first time. Make cocktails in a large place, high volume, with colleagues, mixing. Had great fun. Actually, I got that job because of my best friend Timon at the time. He got me in there. I was really
shout out.
Yeah. I really wanted to work there. Also, again, I wanted that road. And I asked him, can't you get me in there? And eventually, he got that done for me. And so I got to know Olivier, bar manager, and then Olivier said, okay, I want to open up my own cocktail bar. But he was a little bit the buzz of the town because he was the best cocktail maker in Belgium. He won a prize, I think, twice, 2 years in a row, best cocktail maker. And then he opened up his own place, and I said, okay, I want to go with you. He said, okay, sure, let's go. And that really was Jiggers was when it went open was the place.
Jiggers.
Yeah, was the place to be. And Ghent cocktails wise was
So
speakeasy.
you were involved with Jiggers.
Yeah, it was his business. I worked for him, but I was from the get-go. I was there, and then it was gangbusters. It was a lot of fun. It was just Zaza, Olivier, and me. I think then Jesse joined, and then Robin joined. Also really important entrepreneurs and or business owners in horeca at this day. They do something differently. So a lot of people from Café Theater actually, and then Jiggers also have like spread out.
Collaboration was key in all these things.
Yeah. And then Jiggers was great fun, but then I really realized really quickly, okay, I love doing this, but I'm not going to do this working for you.
Yeah. So what's next?
I wanna make my own money as well as a business owner. And then we found a place because I really wanted to buy a restaurant or buy a building. We didn't want to rent something, and then we bought a place in the outskirts. I always, as my dad used to do this too, if we would go somewhere, we would always take different roads. So my mom would hate it because it would always take longer. And this is how I would do the same thing with my wife, take different roads. She also, how are you driving now? Or why, this is a longer road. I like to discover and see different ways. And we were driving in the outskirts, and I will never forget when we drove into the Druifstraat. It was sun on a corner place, was a big sign for sale, and I was like, yeah, that's it.
No.
It was like the sunlight was hitting it straight on, and I knew that's the place, And we bought that place. We renovated it, and we opened up the Hansrik. And the same moment, we opened up a Ponies pop-up somewhere else, another bar, cocktail bar.
With the beer?
With what eventually, becoming of that pop-up bar, we made beer, and then that grew also a little bit. That was together with Robin and Jesse. We did that project. And that's a little bit, how that goes.
Your wife was a goal?
My wife was a goal. No, my wife wasn't a goal. I was a little bit alone. I think I was a little bit in search. I think that also was like that moment of sun, like on her. I will never forget the way.
For sale.
The way the first moment I laid eyes on her, the way she moved back, and her hair went to the back. It was like, snap. It was wonderful. Yeah, we're a match made in heaven for sure. Yeah.
I love to listen to your stories. Like you have a goal, you got your eyes laid on something, and you're going for it to get it. But at the same time, you're taking detours. Like different roads. I'm just more like metaphorically speaking here. It's like it's just funny how these things then collide and finding what you're looking for. It's interesting.
Yeah. There's this thing as in having a goal, and also things happen. Exactly. Things happen in life. What things come on your path. Sometimes I do get sidetracked a little bit of not feeling it really well, not always being honest 100% with myself. My wife is much better at that. She's really a stomach or a bug feeler in the stomach. If she says she doesn't feel it, I also sometimes have to listen to her a bit more. Yeah. Then it has to be a no. But that's a process of growing, getting older, getting to know yourself. Yeah. And being able to acknowledge that you make mistakes, Yeah. But still the goal is I have my goals of what pretty much, not that I have it really, thought out methodically. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Okay, like that. No, I have.
You got to put something on the horizon.
Yeah, but
is there something you want to share?
About goals, about things. It's not that I don't want to share it, but it's not really specific. I think that I want to share. I'm also at this moment. I'm a little bit in a spot of searching, of what and how is the next chapter going to be, because I'm really getting into a phase very much so. Mm-hmm. I just opened up a restaurant on the seaside in July, but we closed it already. That was a very, very hectic period. Wow. It was a crazy. We had an opportunity with two guys, Laurent and Simon, and we basically opened it up in a very short period of time. It was crazy to do that, but it was an opportunity. The time was there. The summer was there. The seaside
Season's over.
the season was just ready to get ready, and we went all out to get it done. Really beautiful place we created. A good, but it wasn't meant to be.
So it's not coming back next season.
No. I stepped out of that project. The project is still ongoing in a different form.
Okay.
But that's okay. For me, it's difficult to pull out of something. It's for me it's like difficult to say, okay, it didn't work out. I have to stop. I get very emotional about that, and that's not easy.
Yeah.
It's because it's I see it as failure, but it's not. So I'm still working on that mentally, but I'm much better with it now. I think I'm really happy I tried. I did my best. Would I have done it different, or would I have not have done it? In hindsight, difficult to say. But I'm happy I did it because it has brought me here now on the bench, talking about it.
Yeah.
And it is much more calm and easy now. So I have more time to reflect and think about things. Yeah.
This podcast is also about, being in a good place, finding your good place again. But I also realized that it's also not that place where you stand still. It's maybe a place where you can think, okay, yeah, things are going well. But I also feel with you, like, it also needs to have motion. You need to be going. You need to be active, as in. Not just in our current projects, but also something new. That is also something that excitement creates and gets you out of bed maybe every morning. Like, what is next?
Yeah, I think sometimes I wish I would want to stand still, and I wish I could be an artist and taking a week for a painting. In Italy, on a mountain or at a lake, and just sitting there and reading a book, but that's not me. I like to move. I like to be able to do new things. I get bored after a while, or very soon. Often I want changes, and at the same time I don't like change. So it's a very difficult thing, If something in my house, my cups are moved, I get annoyed by it because I can't find them. I blindly will open up the same spot, and if it's not there, it bothers me. But I like new things. I like change. It's difficult, but yeah, I don't know how. I can't really give a clear answer on that. That is very.
No, but maybe it's also nice to be that Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
You kicked off this conversation.
Yeah, that's true. For instance, like the bartending classes that I give with Horeca Forma. These are 11 young people now at this moment that have finished college or finished studying, and they don't know what to do. They wrote themselves into this bartender class, and basically they all can start working at a place after this, so they all will get a job. Yeah. And being in someone's life as a coach or as a mentor is really cool, and I love doing this now for the next couple of weeks. But then also after a couple of weeks, I'm pretty much done with it, and it comes back then every 6 months.
Yeah.
But this really, I think this is also a really big part of my life in helping out people, finding or helping them getting better in a way, because it's cool to help them out, to make them better, to give them a good feeling, and also giving myself a good feeling, because sometimes I'm too hard for myself, too difficult on me. I'm not being good at something, and when I'm teaching, I actually realize, hey, what I'm saying here really makes a lot of sense, because I really know my shit. I really know what I'm saying.
It's all those years of experience that you share. Yeah.
It's nice to say it in words then, to write it down, and it's like also an acknowledgement for myself from, hey, actually I'm in this for 25 years. I know what I'm doing, and it's nice to share this with people. Ego-strelend, how do you call that? It is a bit like that. It's nice.
It touches your ego in a positive way. I mean, that's also from these like podcasts and conversations. I also decided to launch a program, the Good Place program, to really help people find their good place. And it's not because there's one holy grail has been a good place, but everyone is looking for that next step in life, or is at a crossroad, whether it's in work, whether it's in private life, whether it's a place to live in, whatever they want to do. And everybody needs a kick in the butt or support network. And I'm happy to help people with that.
I think the good place is closer than most people think it is. It's like I said all the way in the beginning of that saying of Eva's grandfather. You really have to be able to find it in yourself and at your home. If you don't find it there, it's difficult to find it somewhere else.
Most of the people that taken part in the program, they say it's about regaining that confidence. You know, like appreciating what you have, appreciating where you at. That kind of acknowledgement, as in the word you said. Sometimes people miss that. And when they refine it, they can move on to the next one.
It's all the influences. It's all the influences on the outer world that
Exactly.
It triggers us so much. Also, one of the things that my dad used to say: dreaming of something makes you much more happier than eventually having it. I'm not someone that often buys certain stuff to have something. I'm very much like one of my American friends, Abe. I'm a lover of things. I am a lover of things, but I really covet them. I really enjoy. Like my bike, for instance. I love my bike. I like driving it. It's my bike because it's personalized. And this is with all kinds of small things, but I don't have a lot of things.
But it was nicer to dream of than having it.
The bike maybe I really like having, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I dream of having, and I know if I have it, I'm just gonna have it. So I try to keep it like that, and I try to teach it as well to my kids now, especially to Remichi. He's 7 and he wants all kinds of stuff, toys and this and that. I think not being a materialist, trying to teach your kids not to be materialistic is really important. Maybe people see me as a materialist. I hope not. Maybe it is that, but I don't feel like that. And just being happy with what I have. But
as long as it's quality.
I like my things. But
experience.
I really feel that I'm very lucky in life with my wife and my kids in the happy place that we have. I love my job. It's not a job. It's my life. I don't work. It's a hobby. It's just fun, and we have a lot of time off. We I think once a week at least we have a babysitter to go out with the two of us, so we have time. I find that very important in couples' lives that have children.
Very important.
It's really essential.
That's why we're here this weekend without kids.
Voila. You have kids?
Two.
Okay. Two.
2 and 16 weeks.
Ooh. 6 hours, good. You're out. Nice.
Yeah.
We also went away really quick. You have to do it. I got mad with my sister a while ago, because she doesn't go out with her husband. She was having a difficult time, and it's so important just to sit down like this on a bench. Have a chat, go out just with the two. We also sometimes want to go out with friends, and also do that. But try not to do that once in a while, and to sit with the two of you. And sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes the greatest thing happens. The greatest moments arise, and you talk about things.
Absolutely.
It really is. For me, that's all about. If we talk about good place, of creating a good place, that's like one thing that's key. Period. Yeah. Period.
Quality time.
Yeah. Quality time. Even more, I would say, sometimes with Eva, with my wife, than with the kids, because we are the base, we are the core, we are the pillars for our children, and we have to show them what love is and what intimacy is. If we don't teach them or don't show it to them, allez, that's our goal in life, our children, but first us.
So many goals. Yeah.
I don't see that as a goal. I see it as a
A value.
a value, and also talk about the children and how to do things. Sometimes we just talk about the children and what we have to change in the morning or in the evening.
Yeah.
Trying. Eva's really good at that. She does. I told her a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, that I was really thankful for what she does and how she arranges the things for kids with the kids. I'm not good at that. And she really feels the kids, sees the kids. Not that I don't, but she just goes that extra mile. It's just getting up. If sometimes you can get mad with the kids.
Tell me about it.
And try not to get mad and just hold it in for a second. Sometimes I have to take over, or the other way around. But it's getting easier now.
Yeah.
The one is 3 years, the youngest now, and we're getting into that easier mode.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for that.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of a terrible 2 season.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh.
And I have to acknowledge that she can cope with it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, it's sometimes, especially in the first 2 years, I would say we really had to take over sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, hey, step away, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Or you take over, I can't do it. And then being able to also call that moment and say, hey, I can't handle this right now.
Yeah.
Can you take over?
Yeah. So recognizable. Yeah.
You have to do that, because sometimes you get mad for stupid stuff, the kid, and then also you have this book, I think it's called in Dutch, it's called Oei Groei. Ouch, I am growing.
Yeah.
That's a really good book. It's like a classic book, but it really explains really well what the kids are going through and what certain weeks. And then also you get to understand why they're like that, and that also makes it easier. Okay, exactly. I see. That's what's happening. That's why they're mad.
We've never, when we say, okay, this is like the most challenging time of our lives with everything that we have to take on, work. You juggle with your creative projects, your kids, your relationships. It's a lot, And in the heat of the moment, you need to know what's going on, or at least. And then with understanding, you know how to get around it and to deal with it.
We have to ask questions about everything. Sometimes we forget that everything has a reason.
That's a good one.
It's asking questions of why am I sick? Why am I feeling this way? It's not just taking a pill and let it go away and sleep. It's thinking about why we're sick, why we're feeling like this. I think
it's getting to the core of that particular problem instead of just curing it.
And that's also, I think, a good key with me and Eva, that we have. I'm not saying figured out, but we figured out that we have to ask questions, and why things are happening, for what reason, and to get down to the base and find a solution. And being able to change stuff health-wise, spiritually-wise, mentally-wise, with the children, with us, businesses. Sometimes it's it works better on that level or on that level than the other one. But I think asking questions, I think really is just important. And alles in vraag stellen, I think that's a good translation.
Yeah. Beautiful. Ben, so many valuable insights and quotes. A lot of things to think about. And to process as well. We have come to the end of the episode. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun.
I could go on for another hours and hours. I like to talk.
Maybe I have a second podcast about dads. No, just kidding.
Dads.
Let's record another episode about dads and their kids. I want to thank you for your time,
Yep.
for the delicious coffee, um, for the beers that you brought. I'm gonna definitely gonna enjoy them and my time here in Ghent. Um, Maybe as a close off, just tell people why they should come to Ghent or not, and then I'd like to close off the podcast and thank everyone for watching this episode.
Um, why should you come to Ghent? Because there are a lot of passionate people in Ghent that do great businesses. I think that's the most biggest reason for me. If I look at my peers, my colleagues, because that's especially my profession, restaurants, bars, cafes. There are a lot of people here in Ghent that are very passionate about what they do. I'm not going to name all of them because everybody is passionate. Also, my competitors and beers are very passionate about what they do, and I think you really feel that in our city because it's small, it's cozy, it's romantic. It always looks nice. I think that's the biggest reason to come here, and I rather and would invite for people to come live here than than to come on city tripping because we have enough tourists, and yeah, I think that's the biggest
There are
reason.
enough apartments for sale or for rent here
Yeah.
as well. So
One of my best friends works as a realtor, Carlo Hermont and Edouard van Grambergen, and I think if they, I just want to help them out for better, more sales. And I like also to do some real estate on the side to buy and sell something, so that also would be good for me then. So
put the link below. Okay,
yeah,
I will
yeah.
do that. Thanks again, Ben, for your time. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you to the next one. Bye bye.